In my previous videos on the Nikon D5000, I've reviewed the camera, taken you through a body tour, and shown you all the menus and the info display. In this video, I want to bring it all together. I'll take those videos one step further and give you some practical information and talk to you about how I set up my D5000 for a day of shooting. I talked about how the D5000 is for someone who wants a camera that is easy to use but will give them the flexibility to dig into the settings if and when they choose. So when I'm headed out into the world, ready for anything, this is how I set my D5000. Let's start with the lens. I like to use something with a little range, like this 18-105 f3.5 to f5.6, or maybe my 35mm f1.8 for when I'm in low light situations or just don't want this large lens to contend with. I make a few changes in the menus. The first thing I always do when I get a new camera is disable the focus confirmation beep. Then, when I'm ready to go out shooting, I make a few adjustments. I often turn image review off. Image review can really eat up battery life. When I want to review a specific image I've taken, I can simply hit the playback button. Next, I go to image quality and size. For those who know me, you know that I'm just as likely to have my camera set to JPEG Basic Small as I am to have it set to RAW. For the Ready for Anything D5000, let's start with JPEG Large Normal, and we may go to RAW if we run into some tricky lighting, or maybe even Basic Small if we're going to rattle off a bunch of snapshots. Let's chat about the camera settings, like picture control settings, exposure mode, and ISO. For picture control, I've always liked the look of Nikon's standard setting. When there's more landscape than people, Vivid mode works fantastic as well. The D5000, like all Nikon DSLRs, has the ability to automatically set the ISO. I know, some people frown upon this, but it's great to get you to your shot without having to constantly make adjustments. I shoot in aperture priority most of the time, so that's what we'll set here. Not sure if you're going to be shooting fast action or sweeping landscapes? The D5000 has the trick. AFA mode. In this mode, the camera will adapt to motion, meaning that if your subject is bouncing about, the camera will keep focusing. If you're taking a photo of a lighthouse, though, the focus will lock right on it and stay there. I'm a big fan of single-point autofocus and letting my thumb move the focus area around depending on how I want to frame my subject. Rest assured, though, that the D5000 has the dynamic area and auto area modes as well, in case you don't want to give your thumb a workout. Now, if you have a specific event that you are doing, your settings will probably be different. But, like I said, the average person that purchases this camera isn't doing anything crazy. They just want to take great photos every time they pick up the camera. By leaving the camera set to be ready for anything, you don't have to fumble with settings when that perfect moment strikes. You can just pick up your camera and capture it all. I know that many of you like to take full control over everything at once. Aperture, shutter speed, ISO, focus mode, etc. And that's great. I love doing that too. On a camera like the D5000, you really have the best of both worlds. Set it up a certain way and be ready for anything, like I have in this video, but also know that when you'll be shooting something very specific, you can make all of the adjustments that you need to get exactly what you're looking for.